Hi, Leana. Thank you for booking with me, and thank you so much for your patience. It's honestly, these past life readings have been kicking my butt, but I'm glad I finally got to you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So I always start with a chart analysis because I feel like that just gives some idea into your past lives. While I was doing yours, I realized that you have Scorpio in your ninth house. And when I see Scorpio in the ninth house, that's the house of philosophy, that's the house of religion. I automatically felt that you were either in some war to say, or for whatever reason, Vietnam was sticking out. So when I send you the chart analysis, you'll be able to see it. But most of the time, I focus on Sun, Moon, Venus, and also the clusters in your chart. When I focus on the clusters in your chart, it's more towards to see what it's kind of like accumulated karma. I call it accumulated karma, but it's literally you've probably been repeating the same lessons, and that's why you have more than one placement in the house. And even if, let's say, you have Taurus and Scorpio, I'm just making it up because they're literally opposites. If you have Taurus and Scorpio in the ninth house, then it's like you've repeated the same lesson, but it's been lived differently, if that makes sense. Like Taurus has lived through the senses, while Scorpio lives through that emotional intensity and trying to find the underbelly of things. So when I see clusters like that, that's kind of something to focus on. Now, I saw Scorpio in the ninth house, and like I said, that's very much indicates to me that there was like one very tough lifetime lived, and I was feeling, like I said, Vietnam. But let me just go through this actually. Let me show you what crystal I pulled out. I pulled out Angelite, which is the crystal of communication. I do notice that you have an air moon, but it feels like sometimes when you communicate, you can be harsh or rash, or it may feel like you are not communicating to the extent that you want to communicate to, or you're not reaching that level of understanding that you're hoping to. So I'd really recommend this one. It's also, I believe, a third eye stone. Yeah, it is. It's a third eye stone, so it kind of like stimulates that part of you, and I feel like very much it's trusting your intuition. Like I feel like sometimes it can be hard for you to trust your intuition because of what you say. I feel like you know how to talk, so you kind of talk yourself out of things as well too. Now, let me jump into this read. Let me see. I feel like shuffling is like the most awkward part of any reading. Shuffling is definitely the most awkward part. What do we see for Leana's life? Sometimes they don't want to speak, and sometimes they do. It honestly just depends. Oh, girl, what did I say? Wait, I'm not very good with the... Yeah. I'm not very good with the maps and stuff, but I'm pretty sure Vietnam is like an Asian country, and I have Asia here. I got ships. I got authority figures. And I also got leaving and traveling. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm feeling from this and from what I looked into your chart. So Vietnam seems to be a very influential life in your current time. I'm feeling like you were very much a soldier, but you were a soldier from Vietnam. So I feel like this was a war that I'm not very like read up on how the war started, but it definitely feels like there was like a... like religion, spirituality, like bias involved in this war, and you were part of that. When I was doing your chart, I kept getting visions of you running, and you were a man in this lifetime. Kind of like, I don't know if you've had dreams about it, but I feel like you were either the height of 5'8" or 5'7", and you were very dark haired, a man. There was a scar on either your left side, it was somewhere around the torso, so I don't know if you currently have a scar around there, but there was definitely a scar there, inflicted from childhood. I feel like when you were a child, you fell somewhere, either a riverbank or some rocks, but you fell and it left like an impressionable scar. It definitely feels like you were trying to run away from the war. You also had a wife and I believe 2 kids. Because when I was typing up your stuff, I kept getting 2 significant, like, smaller entities. I'm not smaller entities, smaller children. I'm not sure if you have a younger brother or a younger sister, but there was definitely 2 smaller children. They could either be your current brother and sister, or they will be children that you will have in this lifetime if you're going to have children. If not, they have probably, I feel like they've already reincarnated. And they could either be younger, or they could be somebody that's like very close to your family that you're very close to, like immediate cousin or somebody in your family that you've always been very protective of, because the energy feels very, very protecting. It feels like you were trying to rush them out and try to get them away from this. That's where leaving or traveling comes from, and the ships come from. It feels like you had the resources to be able to leave, and it feels very, it feels like very rushed. It feels very, very rushed. Like, I feel like from one day to another, things started getting bad in this lifetime, and so you were forced to pick up all your stuff and leave. That's where I'm getting authority figures. I'm feeling like maybe there was a general, or maybe there were some soldiers that kind of swept in, and you were really, really forced to run and to kind of fight for your life. So there's like a mistrust here. I know you were born as a Scorpio, but there's a mistrust in, maybe I want to say either government or, well, current climate, but a strong mistrust of government authority figures. You might have not had the best relationship with your father or authority figures in your lifetime due to this. It feels like your government either failed you in this lifetime because you were a soldier and you felt like you would be protected, but you weren't. And it definitely feels like you had no choice. And I feel like, I don't know if the number 7 is pertinent to you, or it's just telling me that this was a lifetime where you had to seek that wisdom. 7 is very much the number of service. It's the number of wisdom. It's very similar to the number 9. But 7 I feel like it's the Hermit and Tarot. It's that internal looking and digging, and the fact that you're a Scorpio in this lifetime really just doesn't surprise me, because you were forced to do that internal digging from a very prior lifetime. I use tarot to kind of like see more into this lifetime, but definitely let me know about that birthmark. Let's see. I'm gonna ask for the overall theme for the lifetime before I even start digging through it. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Okay, so the material was kind of left on the back burner because obviously you were running away. This is the 9 of Pentacles. And 9 is also like the number of like fulfillment, wishes. It's before you get to the 10. But it feels like you had to leave that all behind. Like you had to restructure yourself from the bottom up, and that's very, very significant as a Scorpio, because Scorpios are ruled by is it Pluto? Scorpios are ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, and it feels like this lifetime was very much that. You've had to reimagine yourself more than once, and especially your structure in your home life. But the message was basically, don't be afraid to restart things over. Don't be afraid of that death, that symbolic death. Don't be afraid of that symbolic death, because you will have a second chance of recreating things better and more fruitful than maybe what you started with, which is what I get from the 7 of Wands. That's victory. That's completion of goals. And remember what I said about the number 7? I feel like that number is either following you or it's your life path. But the number 7 here is very much present in just the spread itself. I'm also getting King of Cups here. So the lesson was govern your emotions accordingly. Don't be afraid to rebuild that. Make sure that you're following your calling, basically. Restarting doesn't mean that everything that you've done before is wasted. It means that you have a chance to strengthen that, to rebuild that, to make sure that you are making the best out of it. And it feels this lifetime was very, very emotionally turbulent. It feels like you had to come to terms with some very harsh emotions. And that's why I'm getting the King of Cups here. This was kind of like a preparation for this current lifetime. I don't know if you've been through a lot of emotional blunders or just emotional hurt, just very, very significant to who you are now. So that's for the general lesson. Now, I really want to see about your relationship with the wife and the 2 boys. When I talk about past lifetimes, sometimes it freaks people out, but we don't always, our parents aren't always our parents. You could have been married to your parents. You could have been, what is it called? They could have been your siblings. I'm feeling like sorry, because I get messages and I like stop dead in my tracks. But I'm feeling like this person is either immediately related to you or they are going to be a significant relationship in this lifetime. I'm going to have Tarot clear that up. But remember that the body is just a vessel and that we reincarnate over and over again with different relationships just to relive out the karmic lesson. So I want to know about this person. This person also feels like a water sign. I don't know if there's like a Cancer or maybe another Scorpio in your life that you're very, very much attached to. But this person very much feels like nurturing, very caring. They are, I want to say, either light brown hair, dark brown eyes, probably about like 5'7", 5'8". But this could, like I said, this could be a potential partner, but I'm going to have Tarot clear that up for us. Let's see. Who is this person? Let me see. That's interesting. So what I'm getting is childhood, 8 of Cups, and the World. So I'm feeling like you haven't met this person yet. Or maybe you've met them like earlier on in your life and they will make an appearance again because of the childhood card. So I'm feeling like maybe you knew them when you were a child and you kind of split ways, but you will once again know them. I feel like there's a path here that's saying that, oh, you met this person. I don't know what your sexual preference is, so I'm just gonna leave it at this person. You met this person earlier on in your life. This could have been high school, this could have been middle school, but you know this person. You probably just haven't been, or maybe you're already with them, but you just you've been roaming around in the same circles, and you've kind of had to go through your own emotional your own emotional ride, because this is leaving things that no longer suit you, leaving relationships that no longer suit you. And I do see a relationship with I think there's another soldier here, that he will be a significant karmic relationship for you. Karmic, I mean, this will be a very turbulent relationship if it hasn't already happened. But we'll get into that. This person is going to come into your life when you're kind of restarting things again. I'm telling you that death and rebirth thing is very, very significant. I feel like you will be starting to rebuild your life. You will either be going into a new phase of your life where this person can come in if they haven't already come in. And yeah, woo, look at that. And it will be a very balanced relationship. The relationship will start off very slow, so don't be discouraged by it, because it feels like there's time with this relationship. This relationship is very indicative with time. It feels like baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. But it's because you will be coming out of significant disappointing relationships, or relationships that just didn't do it for you, basically. So yes, they will be coming in if they haven't already. when you are kind of rebuilding your life, when you are kind of getting yourself together. I don't know how old you are, but this is feeling like 27, 28, maybe even, I want to say like early 30s. I don't know how old you are, but if you're there, let me know. So yeah, that's this person. So keep me updated on this person. I want to know about the there's 2 here, so I'm not sure who these kids are. Yeah, see, very young, an earth sign. So yeah, this earth sign feels like the first one is an earth sign. They're very young, they're very naive. They're kind of trying to get their life together right now. I don't know if this is your cousin that I'm seeing or somebody that you're very close to. This could also be a sibling. They're kind of trying to get their life together right now, and you're very nurturing and protective of them. They are kind of like what's a good word to put it? They are mopey. They feel very overtaken by their feelings. And I feel like it's maybe because they're a little younger than you or they're at the same age as you, but they feel very mopey. They feel like things can get them down very easy. So they kind of trying to focus themselves on their work life. This could also be a coworker, by the way. But yeah, they feel like they're very mopey. They're very, they need that emotional, like, attention and help, which is kind of why you were incarnated again with them. It feels like they very much relied on you, or currently still do rely on you for that emotional support, that emotional nurturing that you've always provided, by the way, since you were like a significant figure in their past lives. Now, who's the girl? She was a girl in this lifetime, but I'm feeling she might be a boy. I'm feeling she might be a boy. She could have reincarnated again into a girl, but there's 2 here. You have a lot of earth signs in your family? Right. The girl is more, I'm going to call her girl. She might be an Aquarius because I'm getting the Aquarian card. This person is more communicative than the other one. The other one feels a little more withdrawn, a little more mopey, a little more to themselves. But this one feels like she's willing to work with other people. She's willing to know other people. She might be a little secluded every now and then. I'm saying she, but it could also be a he. A little secluded every now and then. But sometimes she can be a little pessimistic about things and be a little suspicious. So, yeah, I'm feeling like she could be an Aquarius or a Gemini. But Aquarian is sticking out to me, so I don't know if you know an Aquarian. She could be a little pessimistic sometimes, and it kind of like, you kind of come in for that support again. Like, she very much gets you, I'm just going to stop saying she, they very much get you on mental level, but emotionally, they're kind of not at your level. So that's why I'm saying they sometimes feel younger, but they could be the same age, and they're a little more like emotionally inept. So this could also be a friend that you're very like close to and caring for. So just remember if they're an Aquarius or a Gemini. Now, let's see, because I feel like this place that I'm seeing is very close to the ocean. I don't have a specific, like, I'm really bad with like maps and stuff, but it's definitely Vietnam, and it's definitely feeling like it's close to the ocean, or there was a water source nearby, and you kind of had to sail away and leave everything behind. It feels like there was a lot of introspection here regarding you, and you sailed. I feel like you did sail here, like to America in that early time, during that time. So you encountered a lot of hate when you got here. I'm sorry, but I kind of zone out sometimes because I'm like receiving information and I'm kind of trying to put it into words. But when you got here, someone received you. I don't know if this is an uncle you're close to, or maybe this is your parents, but they weren't your parents in this lifetime. I'm feeling like, I don't know if you have a connection to New York or you've always wanted to be in New York, but it's feeling like that's where you stopped by when this whole thing was happening. Yeah. There was somebody here that was willing to help you. Oh. And they can be a very significant... Oh, shoot. Sorry, sometimes these cards just have a mind of their own. Okay. I do like a quick take because last time that I did this, YouTube wanted to be funny. Okay, so let me see who this person I'm seeing. I don't know why I'm getting cheese. I don't think I'm craving cheese, but there was somebody here that was helping you monetarily for a little bit. I don't know if this is your like mother, this could be your grandma, but they were male also in this lifetime, and they very much like wholeheartedly took you in. Yeah, they were providing, like, you came, no money, nothing, your family, and they were very much willing to share themselves and provide for you while you got up and you know, and kind of stabilized yourself, which is what I'm getting here. But I don't know who this person is. I don't know if it's your grandma. Oh. Oof. Don't be scared when I say oof. I say oof all the time. I don't know if this is your grandma. She might be a little emotionally distant, which is what I'm getting, or never really close to her family, which is what I'm getting from the Ten of Cups. But yeah, they don't want to speak. I'm getting that she is very much a figure in your lifetime now, though she was male in a past life. She was very willing to help you during this time. Even though I feel like her life during this time was not great, which is what I'm getting from the Ten of Cups. So she might have been a little emotionally distant, but she was more than willing to help you financially and in terms of your stability. I don't know if this is your grandma currently or your mother, but there was some emotional distance that may still be present in the current lifetime. Could also be an aunt, but it's definitely an older female figure. And she was kind of very emotionally distant during this lifetime. I'm feeling like she was kind of like self-protectant. She could still be very much that way. And that's why your relationship hasn't blossomed the way it needs to be. But they are very much a provider. They are very much caring for you in the providing sense. And that's how they show their affection. Now, to wrap this whole thing up, I'm going to see what your passing was like. Yeah, it felt very peaceful. It felt like all the introspection work. It felt like all the introspection work was done and you were able to kind of pass with no resentment or no thought. Yeah, because you got the Big Daddy card right here. What else do we have? The Sun and the Lovers. So yeah, this felt like there was a sense of completion in this lifetime. You died with no real worries here. You felt like what you had to do, what you had to provide for was very much completed. There was a strong sense of union between you and the people that you reincarnated during this time. And you were kind of able to pass over very happily and very content. Again, the King of Cups is here. What are the freaking chances? And look. Ah! That's crazy. I'm telling you, these lifetimes freaking write themselves out. Yeah, this lifetime played out really nicely, but it definitely feels like you went through a very hard blunder in the beginning, but as the lifetime progressed, you were able to find that clarity and really provide for those around you, and really just find that union within yourself that I feel like now you're seeking, and maybe that's why you are coming to me for this past life reading. I'm feeling like you're looking for that union within yourself to try to recognize that emotional part of you, that part of you that wants that rawness, that realness, And I feel like if you connect to him, you will find that. I would say meditate on it. Sometimes I tell my clients, like, hey, when I do a past life read, just meditate on it a little bit, or just take some time out, because you can simultaneously regress. When I start jogging memories, that's what I call it. I like to call it, like, I like to jog memories, or with the symbols and stuff. You will start having these dreams that you were this man or that you were this woman, and just really meditate on this person. He feels like a very nice, a calm, stable man is what I like to call him. I can't pronounce his name, but I do feel a hard S in there. But yeah, so just connect to him. I feel like maybe he is calling out to you. Our lifetimes do call out to us sometimes, but he is calling out to you. He's trying to give you some either advice or some emotional, like, support in some way, because the Emperor and the King of Cups is here. But definitely connect to him, especially if you're going through a turbulent time currently. And please reach out to me, let me know, or if you need any advice on how to connect to this lifetime. I definitely recommend kyanite. Kyanite is a crystal that lets you, it kind of jogs like a memory jogger for your past lifetimes. But anyway, thank you so much for booking with me. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you. Bye.